All right, let's get started. Let's see. I spent a lot of time reviewing the devices PR from Shuhan. You saw that I pushed some commits, cleaning up some stuff. I'm still reviewing the last 2.5, or the last commit and a half or so from your patch, so I'll let you know. I'm about to repush in the next 20 or 30 minutes a version of the commits I pushed that actually works instead of crashing immediately. Yep. And you'll want to take a look over them. I haven't tested them very thoroughly, so you should do whatever testing you've been doing.
Okay, thanks.
The main goal here is to make it so that as many things as possible are compile errors. For instance, exposing segment directly means that it was easy to convert the compound 4-bit, 28-bit combo into just like a number, which would make it really easy to compare it to segments where it's not appropriate. So I want to make that kind of thing private so that we get a compile error.
Okay.
All right, Barth? Hello. Do you have anything to share with the group?
Yeah. Yes, Sam.
Go for it.
Yep. Sam, I just tried to bring up the cluster with the upstream build 17th version. Exact version is like 17.0.0-7998. So I'm facing the few issues to add the OSDs. So first of all, I would like to know which versions I can try.
Current master.
Tests.
Always current master.
Okay.
Second, I haven't tried to bring up a cluster the way you're doing it. So again, I suggest that you create a bug with the steps you took, and then Radek or I will take a look at it. There's a good chance that it just actually doesn't work. There's a bug.
Okay.
Or that there's some alternate thing you have to do or some config you have to fill in. I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, you'll be sort of doing some stuff that other people haven't done before, so it'll likely be kind of rough. So the only way to debug it will be with some fairly detailed notes.
Sure.
John May, how's it going?
Yeah, Sam. One more. So can I get the details where I can raise the upstream bugs? Because usually in the downstream we'll raise in the Bugzilla, right?
Oh, you have to build it yourself.
Okay.
Sorry. I guess if you're trying to get, you could get it out of Shaman, I think. I'm not actually sure how to do that. I always do my own build locally. There's probably a way to download it from Shaman. That I'm not sure about. You might want to ask Mark. I know Mark does builds for master pretty frequently.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
John May, how's it going?
I reviewed some multiple device PR for Shuhan and updating the journal patching PR. But after testing, it seems not improvement the latency. It's still it's getting worse for the latency. And I try to calculate the functions enter time and exit time for the write recorder. But when I use the perf to probe the function, and it always tell me the function is inline and not no return point. No matter how I set the function not inline with the C flags and declare on the function, it always say it is no return.
Sure.
Point.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Sorry. You'll have to dig into how people usually use perf for that. Can you get us? So if journal batching is working, you should see larger IOs submitted on average. So you might look at the disk statistics, see if the total number of writes changes.
Most is one in the queue. In the queue. Sometimes it's several tens, but most.
They should be bigger, right? If the OSD is saturated, they should be bigger.
Yes. Most of the time it is small, just one request. And sometimes...
So the journal batching code isn't actually doing any batching then?
But it's not doing any batching.
Okay, well, that's what I would look into. It means that the OSD probably isn't saturated, so what you're observing is an increase in latency on a QDepth 1 workload, which means you need to improve your implementation. It's adding overhead.
But I don't know how to improve it. To already write the several IOs in just once write.
Well, except that it's not. You've just observed that it's on average doing just one IO.
No. In most time, I think I used FIO testing. So most time, at that time, only one IO request coming. And I also noticed that there are 2, 3 IOs in the queue. And sometimes several tens in the queue. And sometimes in over 100 in the queue.
But now there's only one?
Not only one. But because the task case cost maybe 80% one IO concurrently, just one IO at that time. I just used FIO to do the testing. So I have already noticed that over 100 IO in the queue. So I think the batching works, but maybe not too many IOs coming at the same time.
I don't think I'm following. Are you saying you are observing larger IOs, or you're not?
I observed large IOs in the submit queue. Sometimes it's over 100 IO in the submit queue, and it is batching handle it.
No, I'm asking when. So you should be able to get statistics on what the block device itself sees, the actual disk. You should be seeing larger IOs, right?
Yes, the buffer list is bigger.
Okay, but
Yeah,
it's still not lower latency.
Yeah, the buffer list. I rebuilt the buffer list. The finally write the buffer list is very big.
It might need double buffering then. This might be something to put on the back burner for a while. It means we may need something more complicated if this is a problem at all.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, I still need to find why the licensing getting worse.
Well, or it's just that the extra complexity doesn't actually bias anything. That the disk itself is capable of higher queue depths, so by doing batching in this way, we're not improving things. We're making it worse by depriving the disk of queue depth, which is possible. In which case, it would be better to focus on something else instead.
Okay. So what else? What other tasks?
Let's see. I mean, the most important task actually is getting SeaStore to work in Toothology. Have you written a Toothology job yet? Or done any Toothology testing at all?
I didn't. I haven't do any work on technology, so need to get familiar with that testing environment.
Yeah, so that's the biggest outstanding task. Like, we need to start bringing up SeaStore OSDs in Toothology.
So can you send me some?
There's a wiki link for how to get access to the lab,
okay,
which is where I would start.
Yeah,
That's actually all I.
Send me that wiki link.
Sure. Greg, how's it going?
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm late. So I had to spend a couple days doing some other stuff for Stretch, but I am looking through how ScyllaDB does messaging because they, wrote SeaStore, and I want to see if there are any obvious traps that they've identified that we need to work around in doing inter-process communication to route messages to different cores for stuff like moving PG operations to the right place before I start doing that kind of multi-reactor work. And that is going on this week.
Cool. Sunil, how is it going?
I don't have anything to discuss. But,
Okay. Johan.
Some of the testing is started.
Johan, have anything to talk about?
This week I made modifications as Sam suggested, and for the multi-device PR, I was on the National Day holiday this week, so I didn't make much progress on other stuff. I'll try to get the Sprite LFS GC and the extend placement strategy work in SeaStore next week. That's all for me.
Okay, cool. Chunmei, you're in luck. There was recently a couple of YouTube videos created for this. I'll send them to you in an email.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yep. All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? All right. Have a good evening. Bye. Or have a good day.
See y'all next week. Later.
See you.